Hello, online fall 2019 speech class. I'm so sorry it's taken me this long to finish grading all of your speeches. Usually I get them done between Sunday and Monday night, but I am in what we call Tech Week in theater, and I'm there from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday night, and then I'm there from I teach my classes, and then I have to be there from 6 p.m. to almost midnight every night this week. So I've been doing them slowly. They are now graded. You should see that your grades soon. I was very pleased with them in general because I could tell a lot of you really cared about the topics that you chose. And it made it more persuasive because when you care about something, you will look for the research to help prove your point and your premise, which is a fancier version of our thesis. And thus, the speeches are better. And you can tell in the quality of your voice, you can tell in your engagement with your audience, either at home or virtually, which is lovely. So, thank you for that. I also could tell those of you, you struggled with the visual aid world. And last time in the discussion forum, I provided you with a playlist that I have that can help you see other ways that people have done it over the years and are creative. I would say Natalia was probably the most successful. I don't know if she communicated with her dad or whomever was doing it for her how to zoom in and zoom out most successfully. That was useful. And also, the visual aid was close enough for her family to see in the at home audience, because it's important that you guys really have care for your visual aids in regards to your virtual and your at home audience. Therefore, those of you who did do that, you were more successful. The statistic is 90% of learners are visual learners. And if you don't provide a visual aid, we get bored. So that leads me to my main criticism of some of the speeches. On the whole, many of you were very good at what we call rhetoric, or the art of speaking. Unfortunately, in this day and age in our politics, the word rhetoric is used in a negative connotation as though it's a bad thing. All it literally means is the art of speaking. And those of you who cared about your topics, that showed art in speaking. It allowed you to have energy and engagement that helped convince us of your argument. Those of you who did probably care about your topic, but you were more just reading off the paper, this has been a complaint of mine for a while now. It is even more egregious a mistake in public speaking in a persuasive speech, because, and especially when it's something you care about, because when you just start to read it, it is boring. And then we turn off because your voice doesn't have the energy that it should for something that you care about. And then why should we care? And maybe in conjunction with that, you didn't provide a visual aid. So what are you doing to keep us engaged? Just completing the assignment? So that's just something to think about, that you can't be persuasive in this other thing that is called the ad hominem argument, or the human argument, which is how you speak, how you sound, your eye contact, your clothes that you're wearing. Some of you are still showing socks and hats, etc., and that is an interesting choice. Not a successful one when you're trying to have everything be persuasive. Everything you do matters. Lastly, I also just wanted to say that you guys have gotten a little better at what we call signposts, and I focused on that in the last feedback. So I was really appreciative that many of you took that note and did that piece of good public speaking. It seems stupid and pointless, but it's helpful. It shows us where you are in the speech and that the speech might be coming to an end soon. Thank you for that. Overall, thank you for your thoughtfulness, and keep up the good work. You only have 2 speeches left: your intercultural experience speech, which is kind of like a story speech, your personal experience speech that we did earlier in the semester, and kind of like it could be an info demo speech. You could do an informative speech on a place you've traveled to. You could teach us how to make a food that's part of your family's culture. You could do a persuasive speech, which is about how you should treat certain cultures if you don't know them. You could do introductory speech because it is about you. So this intercultural experience speech is about you, but it's also about your. It could be a story. It could be a persuasive speech. It could be an informative speech. It could be a demonstrative speech. It could be any of those things. It's just an experience, and it is the most powerful thing in the world. Is your culture, your family culture. We might not think that our Christmas traditions are important, but I was talking about this in my metamorphosis class about a month ago, and one of the students said, "Oh, well, I know everything about white people." And I said, "You do? What do we eat for Christmas?" And he goes, "Well, rice and stuff." And every white kid in the room just shook their head and said, "No, we don't eat rice." And then the white kids also said, "Oh, well, I didn't realize that my Christmas traditions were cultural." And I said, "Yeah, your family culture, which is the most powerful cultural element in the world." The Stasi, which was a spy organization during the Cold War in East Berlin, they had at least one person in every 5 people who was reporting on someone. So generally at any given dinner table, there was somebody who was a spy in your mix. And one of the things that the Stasi discovered was that the one culture they could not break was family culture. The people didn't like to report on their family necessarily, especially a wife and a husband or a partner at the pillow on their bed. They just didn't do it. They couldn't break it. So keep in mind, your family culture is important. Your traditions are important. And Lourdes really highlighted that. And I thought it was really wonderful that she brought it in. So she's already did an intercultural experience speech. And that is something to sort of use as an example. I look forward to them, and we will be brainstorming about those topics next week. Thank you so much.